as I was tidying up, a envelope fell off, these clothes and that. And I was just curious. I opened. It was a letter that one of my sisters had written to this other sister of mine, saying how, oh, she's too dark and ugly. She will never make it. I don't even know if she's our sister. She will never make it. I just thought, what? I was just, this is me. This is at the age of 18. Like, whoa, that it shook me. But then I had to compose myself and say, you know what? I didn't see that. So she used to say, see how you're despising Pauline? She'll have such beautiful children. She'll have such beautiful children. But for me, when I became rebellious in my 20s, I thought, that statement as well is a problem. Because you accepting that, so actually I am not beautiful.
But there's a possibility I'm gonna have beautiful children.
And when somebody says beautiful, what they mean, light skin. So I'm gonna have light skinned kids. And true to that, that's what I went for. I was so rebellious, I didn't want no black person near me, because there's no way I was gonna have children that are dark to go through what I went through as well. It's telling her, I need to know, am I really your child and all this, because of the way you guys have treated me in the past and everything. And my mom opened up. My mom said, okay, when I gave birth to you, your dad came to the hospital. And so and he was like, whoa, this is not my child. She's too dark. She's just not my child.
So trust the process. One day your life is gonna change. Keep on believing. You will be better than before. So trust the process.
My name is Professor Dr. Pauline Long. I'm right here in the United Kingdom, but hey, I was born in Kenya, in the beautiful city of Mombasa, where we have all those sandy white beaches. That's where I was born. I'm a serial entrepreneur, serial philanthropist, but above all, I'm an agent of human love.
Oh my God, look at you. So composed doing that, and I'm just looking at you and how beautifully dressed you are. You should tell them my reaction when I saw you getting your shoes out of the box, and I was like, that's lovely. Your whole outfit is beautiful.
Valentino, baby.
We don't come easy.
No, we don't.
Yeah, and the dress is also Valentino.
The dress is Valentino as well. The gloves, Valentino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The earrings?
Well, the earrings, no, they're not. They could have been, but
No, I'm just trying to say beautiful outfit, lovely hair. And this place is massive. Even before we start, Doc, if you could just tell them what this place is. I never thought in the middle of UK, just right in the city, we could have such a... I came here and I got inspired. And I told my friend Joshua, this is the dream. This is the dream.
This is it.
This is the dream. Just if you could just tell them what this is. So they don't keep wondering why we have a beautiful couch at the center of nowhere.
We are right in the middle of the most beautiful city in the world, London, and at this huge studio, nearly 17,000 square foot. A lot of things have happened here. We've had famous faces, Idris Elba, Lewis Hamilton. Of course, we've had Lynn here as well.
My name made it. Guys, today put my name with Idris, please.
Yes. So this is where, all the action takes place, feature films and TV commercials and actually, we do events here as well, but you know, some decent events, award ceremonies, and TV shows, all sorts of things, all sorts of creative things happen here. I know, Lynn, when you walked in, you were like, okay, you know, your brain was already going overdrive, you know, thinking about what you want to do here next. Amazing things happen here.
This is beautiful. You know, and we had a side conversation, and you were like, Idris comes here, and I was like, oh my goodness, can he come today? Can Idris just come today? And it's amazing to hear you're good people with Idris for like 20 plus years or something. What kind of a person is he? I'm asking this for myself as Lynn. What kind of a person is Idris?
Actually, Idris is very down to earth. You know, the Idris albino is very down to earth. Actually, he's the opposite of what you see on the screen. You know, his characters and that. Such a gentleman, such a gentleman, and always making people feel welcome on film set. He's not, you know, he's not pompous or you know, he just walks in and says hello and he's smiling, and he's amazing. He's
that was guy. For me, because I love him. He's truly inspirational, and so are you, because I know you just don't walk in the UK and in immigration they say, hi Pauline, this is your green card, and we're about to give you one of the biggest places in the UK. You just don't walk in immigration and they give you anything. You have to be able to hustle your way all the way to here. So if you could just take us through your story growing up, really interested in your life in Kenya, how you ended up here to becoming such an incredible woman.
Well, as you know, I mentioned earlier, I was born in Mombasa, and with 10 other siblings. Actually, some of my siblings were born in Tanzania. I was almost born there as well, but you know, I popped out in Kenya. I think maybe my mom was pregnant when she was in Tanzania, and then so I was born in Mombasa, and we lived in Mombasa for until I think I was 6 or 7 years old. And then we moved to Homa Bay. If you ask me to speak Swahili now, I won't be very fluent. But, you know, we're Luos from the tribe of Luo. So we lived in Homa Bay and for a few years, and then we lived in Kisumu, and then we lived in Nyeri, and then we lived, like, my dad was a town clerk, equivalent to what they call, right now it's governors, isn't it? So he, you know, he used to take care of all these regions, like, So growing up, you know, it's so beautiful. I think, you know, I had like grounded lifestyle, even though I was born in the city. I always wanted to go back to the village because my grandfather was my inspiration. You know, I have a dad and a mom, but for me, I always rushed to go and see my grandfather, you know, because my grandfather had this open policy in his home. My grandfather could grab people from the street and say, come and eat with me. You don't even know this person, but you just have all this open door policy. So I grew up with that kind of, I found it so fascinating. I said, I want to be like my grandfather. So growing up, and, you know, in between the city and the village, it was so beautiful. I mean, I would never, ever, ever change that part. There are some things I would change, you know, especially as a child, you know, I really wanted to fit in. Coming from a family where most people were lighter skin, you know, my sister is actually the one that I follow. She's lighter than you. And then another one lighter. They're all light, you know. And I remember when I talk about my childhood, the first thing that comes is, I wish I wasn't dark. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that always bugs me about talking about my childhood. But apart from that, my childhood was like, you know, our parents were there for us 101%, you know. Coming from a family with, you know, 10 other siblings, but also my mom used to, you know, take care of other kids, you know, other orphans and that. So I grew up in like a big home. Like, that's why I love people, because for us, the home was like, it was like a boarding school. You know, you learned to share, you learned to give, you learned to live with different characters, because, you know, being in a room with 10 people, you know, everybody has their character, you know?
Yeah.
You've got the snob, you've got the gossiper, you've got, you know, you've got all sorts.
Yeah.
I love to talk about my siblings and my family, but sometimes I stop and I say, maybe I should have been born in a different family.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of this light skin, dark skin thing that really, really affected me. And I don't want to get emotional. I need to compose myself.
You can now send money to Kenya at great rates and with zero transfer fees. Trust TapTap for convenient, safe and fast transactions to M-Pesa and to Kenyan bank accounts. Download today and get a bonus on your first transfer.
Someone told me it's very okay to be soft and brave at the same time.
Yeah.
Very okay to be soft and brave at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, and tears are not like a form of, I'm a bit vulnerable, because it's okay to be vulnerable. And we live in a world where people think it's not okay. But I always say it's okay, because at the end of the day, you don't want to mask anything.
Yeah.
So in this place, I tell people it's okay.
It's okay.
It's
Yes,
okay.
yes. Yeah. So, you know, when you come from a family where you're looking at everybody and thinking, oh, I wish I was like her, I wish I was like, and then, you know, you get friends saying, oh yeah, that, you know, you get, my sister's friend used to say, oh yeah, that friend of yours, they used to call me a friend to my sister, and my sister always used to say, you know, well, no, she's my sister. But also I could see the way she used to not want me around, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's so dark and ugly and everything, like. And for me, the tip was when I was, I think I'd just done the KCSEs. My sister, although she's older than me, we were in the same kind of, we did exams the same year. Yeah. I mean, I was ahead. Okay. I was ahead. Mm-hmm. And I remember that this time we were at home in Kakamega. Oh, I didn't mention we lived in Kakamega as well. Like we were living out everywhere. We lived in Kakamega as well. Yeah. So I remember taking care of my mother's hairdressing salon and boutique. Me and my sister were made responsible to take care of it. Yeah. And I used to manage it. And I remember one time I didn't go to work that day. My sister had to go and open, and I stayed because I needed to tidy up our room, because me and her, we shared a room. Yeah. And then we had this wardrobe that, with a lot of clothes, and, you know, we were fashionistas. We loved clothes and yeah. And so as I was tidying up, because I've got a bit of OCD, so, you know, I like things tidy and neat and, you know, straight and that. I don't know whether you noticed, like, yeah. When you came in, I was wearing some other gloves as well, you know. Noticed, like, I don't touch doors, I don't, So I was like, oh, this place is so messy. Let me tidy up this wardrobe. And as I was tidying up, a envelope fell off, you know, these clothes and that. And I was just curious. I opened. It was a letter that one of my sisters had written to this other sister of mine, saying how, oh, she's too dark and ugly. She will never make it. I don't even know if she's our sister. You know, she will never make it. I just thought, what? I was just, this is me. This is at the age of 18. Like, whoa, you know, that it shook me. But then I had to compose myself and say, you know what? I didn't see that. Well, maybe if they watch this, they will know. I've never confronted it. And so that brought back some bad memories as well. Like, I remember my dad always saying, Irach kao toyo, which means you're ugly as oh gosh, what is this animal? Oh gosh, I don't know how to translate it.
Say it again.
Irach Kautoyo.
Your dad said that?
Yeah. You know, like when sometimes when your parents want to tell you off, they would say something. But he used to say this, like, and all of it's like flooded back. When I saw that letter, I was like, wow, whoa. But I kept that to myself. Remember 18?
Yeah.
And now what? I'm in my 40s.
Oh.
You know, it was so painful. And when I came to the UK, I remember always trying to distance myself from the family. Growing up, I wasn't a rebellious teenager.
Yeah.
You know, as teenagers, sometimes you can be so rebellious. I was always the one, I stay at home, you know.
Do what you're told to do.
Do what I'm told to do. I didn't sneak out to go to the disco. I didn't, you know, because I remember even one of my sisters, that same sister of mine, the elder one, I think she skipped school.
Yeah.
And so my parents were looking for her. And so as a result, my parents came to my school as well to check if I was in school as well.
Yeah.
But they said, no, this girl, she's too boring. As in, they couldn't even believe it. As a teenager, I wasn't rebellious, but then I became rebellious in my 20s. In a way that I didn't want to know my family. I didn't want anything to do with even dad and mom, because I remember mom always said something like, hey, again, I'm going to say it in Luo, then I'll you know, say, Pauline munenone, obro nyolo nyitindo mabeyo. You know, so she used to say, see how you're despising Pauline? She'll have such beautiful children. Oh, she'll have such beautiful children. But for me, when I became rebellious in my 20s, I thought, you know, that statement as well is a problem.
Because
is you accepting that, oh, so actually I am not beautiful.
But there's a possibility I'm gonna have beautiful children.
And when somebody says beautiful, what they mean, light skin. So I'm gonna have light skinned kids. And true to that, that's what I went for. I was so rebellious. I didn't want no black person near me, because there's no way I was gonna have children that are dark to go through what I went through as well.
Dark.
Oh yeah, I said, I don't do black. For a while, I was like, you're black? You're not coming near me. I'm not, because I don't want no black children, you know, because the way I was treated. And so I remember one time I was living with my brother, one of my eldest brother in London. And I remember one time walking in, mom was there that day as well. And I walked in and they were all in the kitchen. And I came and I was wearing this really nice, kind of red, maroony wig, and had makeup on and everything. And I was looking really good. And my brother said, oh, you look beautiful. And my mom commented saying, again in Luo. For me, sometimes it flows in Luo. Yes. She said, karo Paulina ni beber. She said something like, so you're saying that Pauline's beautiful as well. Like, I was just like, do you know, I was so furious. I was furious. I had to keep smiling. I was furious. And so during that time, I started smoking. I started smoking cigarettes. Yeah. And smoking Marlboros. And I remember putting my bag down, and my mom said, you're smoking? I said, yeah, I am smoking. And we started arguing about that, you know. And I remember trying to cover up the smoking thing, that there was a reason why I was smoking, you know. So I remember I started telling her, oh, I need to know, like, you know, am I really your child and all this, because of the way you guys have treated me in the past and everything. And, you know, my mom opened up. My mom said, okay, when I gave birth to you, your dad came to the hospital. And so and he was like, whoa, this is not my child. She's too dark. She's just not my child. So essentially trying to accuse my mom for having an affair with, I think there was this guy, you know, living with us like this. But yeah, my mom was left in hospital for a few days by dad because I wasn't his child. I was too dark to be his child, you know? And so mom was now opening up, you know, telling me why, you know, she always had, because I asked her, I confronted her, why did you have to say that in the kitchen, that, oh, telling my brother that, you know, oh, so it's Pauline's beautiful as well. Yeah, so you think Pauline's beautiful. And also, why did you always defend me in front of people, always saying, oh, she will have beautiful kids one day? Like, why are you waiting for me to have beautiful kids? Like, what about me? Like, you know? So I was always in that position where she was always defending, because I'm the darkest, because I'm, so that for me, when I talk about my childhood, sometimes I just wish maybe I shouldn't have been born in a family. Maybe if I was born in a family where everybody was dark, it would be easy. Than born in a family where some people are light, some people are dark, and then some people look at you like, is she ever gonna make it? Is she ever gonna make it? It's a funny thing. My sister actually now came to my office. This was last year. She came to my office and I was on this cover of this magazine. And I actually loved that cover and the magazine, and it was the only one copy I had left. But could you believe she wanted that copy?
Oh, wow. And
I just said, I just flashed back. Are you serious? The people that call me dark and ugly, you want this? I said, then I just said, oh yeah, just take it. I gave her the last copy of the magazine that I really wanted to keep.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a way to tell her, you know what, we're good, we are cool.
Are you?
Well, we've not addressed it. We've never addressed it.
Some of them are going to be watching this for the first time.
Well, we've never addressed it. I actually told my eldest sister, and she was so upset. My eldest sister, she always protects me. She was so upset. She was like, whoa, you've lived with that all these years, you know? And for me, sometimes I wish I'd never saw that letter, because that letter made me feel like I was not part of that family. Honestly, it made me feel like, Pauline, you're an intruder here.
You're not wanted.
You're not, you know, and I was looking back and thinking, hold on. Why would, compose yourself, Pauline. I was like, why would you guys treat me this way? Yet my grandmother on my mom's side is darker than these tights. And then my grandfather on my mom's side, very light, like you think that he's white. Yeah. So, and don't get me wrong, I love my dad. I love him, dearly. In fact, I think that of all of my siblings, I've given back to my dad more than anyone of them. Else. But there's this thing which I also kept to myself, and my sister knew as well. So we all went to boarding school, and you know, when it's time to go back, you know, your parents, you know, they bring you there, they lecture you, they kind of like you're going through how you're going through in school. And my dad used to put us on the table, me and my sister, because obviously we were in the same, we were kind of in the same class, although she was a year older than me. My dad used to sit there and say, oh, Jesus. My dad used to sit there and say, you, Paulina, you know, you're a bit disadvantaged. You know, on top you're very small, short, and you know, you're dark, you know, so you need to work harder. You know, your sister, you know, because my sister was tall, light skinned. But for me, my dad said that you have to work harder to make it in life, you know. Yeah, because the way you look. Can you imagine? You're
at a disadvantaged position.
Yeah.
But this is your dad. He should be saying, you're beautiful. You don't need to compensate. But you know, that's the reality in so many households. I don't know what's with people in this color, you know?
it was almost like, so when now in my 20s with the rebellion and everything, you know, I cut everybody off, like, when I cut everyone off and I was rebellious and everything. And so I told Mom how when we used to sit on this table and Dad used to say all these things, oh God, the pain. I was like, where do I belong? Where do I belong? Who am I then? Where? Because you want to be accepted, you want to be loved, you want to feel, to a point that I used to try and use bleaching cream, you know, Ambi. So I used to put Ambi and Vaseline. So, but I used to put it in the Vaseline pot so nobody found out. Yeah. And there's a time there was another cream, it wasn't even Ambi. I used it and my skin reacted so badly. And I had to tell my mom, oh, I don't know, I think it's something I've eaten or allergy. So then she took me to, actually it was my auntie was a nurse. My auntie said, oh, there's this cream she can use to remove, you know, all this allergy. Yeah, but my mom was wondering as well, how come it was just on your face? Even me, I was like, I don't know. Because I was trying on another cream, you know, to scrub this darkness off. Mate, I didn't want to be associated with darkness. But, you know, after that, then I started using Ambi and Vaseline. So I used to, and nobody in the family knew. But there's times when you could tell that my skin was kind of getting a bit dark, and then sometimes it could go back to light again. But what I used to use as well is the Pond's, you know, that the powder. But I used to use one that was like 3 times lighter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 times lighter. And you know, as a young girl, you know, whatever little change you have or pocket money, you want to spend that money, you want to use that money buying beautiful things and that, but you don't want to spend that money buying bleaching cream. But that's what I did, because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to blend in, you know. But when I came to the UK, the creams were not working. Even I was trying to put morning, lunch, evening. I don't know whether it's the weather, you know what I mean? I thought, oh my goodness. And I remember one of my friends was going back to Kenya and I said, please, can you bring me this cream, you know? And she got me some tabs of it. But I used to put like layers of it and like, oh, I don't know, something had changed. It wasn't bleaching me properly. And so my skin was slowly going back. And I remember those days I was a chambermaid, you know, chambermaid, you know, the ones that work in hotels and that. And here is my skin it's not answering well to these creams.
The cream has refused.
This cream has completely refused. And I'm like, no, me and you, we're not getting on. I will do morning, lunch, evening, and night time as well before I go to bed. So again, on top of that, I still used to wear the powder, lighter powder. But you know, one day going to work, you know, as a chambermaid, I forgot to put the foundation. So now, but you know, meanwhile, my skin is going back dark. So you know, when you're cleaning the cleaning the, you know, the bathroom. You know, I've made the beds. When you go into the hotel, first I used to make the bed first, you know, and then go and clean the bathroom. So I'm cleaning this toilet and bathroom, whatever. Hey, who is that? Oh my gosh, I forgot to wear that's how I discovered.
That you did not wear your foundation?
Yes, I nearly panicked. I nearly didn't even go for lunch.
But we got eat though. We have to
eat. I was so hungry. And I remember during those days, I was quite big. I was trying to put on weight. Remember, I was told as a young person, I was too thin, So I was like, let me try and put on weight. You know, I went to size 14 going to 16 during those days. So me missing lunch was not going to be an option.
We have to eat.
We have to eat. I thought, I said, that face I've seen in the mirror, that ugly, dark face, no. I was I panicked, but you know what? I just said, let me just go and eat.
Yes.
I took the food and I sat there and I just wanted to eat quick and go. This white guy comes sit with me. He's talking to me. I'm just eating, but I'm trying not to make eye contact. But he said something funny.
Yes.
And I laughed. And I looked at him.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, whoa, you are so beautiful. Your skin's so beautiful. Wow. I was like, what? This guy, number one, he's never ever spoken to me. It's a staff canteen. And then on the day that I don't wear my foundation, this white guy tells me, so this is the first human being, a white person, told me I'm beautiful. Do you know, from that day, I didn't wear makeup.
No.
To hell with the cream, morning, lunch, evening, to hell with that. To hell, I just, I went back bouncing like that.
I'm beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
This was the first
and
person
also
to tell you were beautiful?
And it was a white person.
In your life?
In my, like
no one?
No.
Oh.
I was like, and that's when I said, you know what, to hell with them black people, all this time you've told me I'm ugly or whatever. A white person has told me I'm beautiful. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm not going near black, no. It's going to be white. White person told me. I was like, and that was the biggest freedom for me ever. Because if I was in Kenya today, if I lived in Kenya, do you know, Lynn, I'll be lighter than you. I would have bleached myself. I would not accept myself to be black and dark. No way. I would have bleached myself. So you know what I always say? The UK saved me.
Oh.
The UK saved me. I am so grateful.
Wow.
For His Majesty's King Charles government.
Yes.
And yeah, the UK saved me. I always say the UK saved me, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it saved me because if not, I could have probably had skin cancer or whatever, bleaching myself.
Yeah,
and because I know one of my relatives actually used to bleach as well, and even add bleach as well to their water.
Yes.
Like, I would have done that. Oh gosh, Lynn, there is no way I would have lived in Kenya being dark. No.
No way.
No. I would never ever, because of the pain as a child,
the trauma.
I would never want to be associated with the age. I would be light and I would be walking like that. Like, listen, proper light.
Yes.
And so after that, I stopped completely using that bleaching cream.
Away with the cream.
Away with the cream.
I'm beautiful.
Away with the makeup. Away with everything. And that's why, you see, I can sit here with no makeup, nothing. And so I remember a year after that, when my skin was going dark, I went back to Kenya. And when you go back to Kenya and then you go and meet your friends that, that you grew up with, or especially, school friends, And I remember one of them saying, how? I thought that when you go to the UK, the weather turns you light. Why are you so dark? She said, why are you so dark? But this time round, remember, I've got the power this time round.
And the confidence. I have an answer for you.
Yeah, and why are you so dark? But you're also very, very confident and very, But what happened? Your skin is, I said, listen, babe, I know what even you are probably doing. I'm sure even you're using bleaching cream. During those days after school, I used to use bleaching cream. That's why, and I used to wear a lot of foundation and bleaching cream. That was me then. I went to the UK. I discovered myself. Actually, somebody discovered me. And I got my freedom back. I got my voice back. I got my freedom back. I've got my confidence back. I do not need anybody to tell me I should be some type of color to accept myself.
I know who I am.
But they were so shocked. They were like, what happened to you? Are you sure you're in the UK? Are you sure you're in the UK? We thought that people in the UK, your skin turns light and nice. I'm like, no, not again. Not again, please. Who said light is nice and dark is bad? Who said it?
Who said that?
You know, whose narrative was it? Who started this campaign that's so toxic, you know? Trying to match people with their color, with a certain color, trying to match somebody's personality with the color of their skin, you know? So I'm so happy, like, sitting here, I'm like, you can't buy this confidence I've got. You just can't buy it.
At all.
You can't.
I feel so good sitting with you today. It's like, man, you are legendary. If they don't tell you that, I'm just gonna say it. I don't want to say it later on in life. I'm gonna let you know.
Yes.
Because it's like now you're speaking for millions and millions and millions of young girls and young women who will never get their confidence back because we live in such an ignorant society that thinks this color is successful and this color is not. And that's some BS, you know?
Yes. And you know, my thing is also, I wanted to become like a secretary, you know, somebody's secretary. And you know, all these secretaries, how they're light skinned and that, you know, and then now I'm looking back and saying, gosh, I didn't have an ambition. I just wanted to become a secretary.
Someone's
secretary.
Not even your own secretary. Someone's secretary.
Typing, you know. Sitting there, welcoming people before you go and see the boss. You know, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be, because most of them, as you always went to these offices, and they were light skinned. They were like, I wanted to be like them.
Oh no,
God! I didn't have ambition. Pauline. You didn't have ambition.
Zero. That I can tell you for free. Zero. But don't we all? Don't we just start like that in life? You don't believe in yourself. You don't even, like, this here to you, I know it's nothing right now. This space is even now too smaller for you. But for me, this space is too huge right now. You know, and years back, I wouldn't think I would have even created my own network. Because so much fear. And you get so scared and you're like, I can't. Who said you can't? Who said you can't? But allow me to take you back. Confidence is back. UK, thank you for restoring my confidence. Your confidence went all the way up. But you also mentioned you worked as a chambermaid. Because when people see people in the UK, we imagine money on trees, send me some money back home. If you could take us through your journey, coming and working as a chambermaid, you know, scrubbing washrooms, making beds, to this?
So, you know, when I came to the UK, actually, I came to study and I wanted to do IT. But obviously, somewhere along the line, I couldn't afford. And although mom and dad, you know, they were quite well off, but it gets to a point where you've paid school fees for 11 children, you know. And you get to a point where it's a lot. It's a lot for mom and dad. So I thought, you know what, take a step back, go and start working, and also be sending money back home to help, you know, pay school fees for the siblings that were behind me. I'm the sixth born, you know, middle. And so, so I remember, you know, saying, you know what, I'm a worker. Let me go and work, because from the age of maybe 15, 16, you know, as I said, I used to work in mom's hairdressing salon and boutique, and I made her a lot of money to a point where when I left, the thing, it collapsed, apparently. It's not funny, but
gifted hands though.
So I learned my entrepreneurship skills from mom. You know, I learned that every day is a money-making day. But from my grandfather, I learned that every day is a giving day, giving back day. So as you know, I looked for jobs and I thought, you know what, I love to clean. Actually, I love to clean. Listen, I can clean this whole place, but my staff will be just like, what are you doing? I'm like, for me, cleaning is therapy. So being a chambermaid for me was an easy choice.
Now, that word is so huge.
Yes.
Uko home, back home.
Yes.
How would you describe a chambermaid?
So, you know that woman, that person that cleans the rooms? And the toilets? And you're basically a cleaner.
There we go.
You're basically
a cleaner.
A cleaner. And people would just say, you're just a cleaner. But let me tell you, do not take it lightly. Do not take it lightly.
Yeah.
I used to clean. I used to make those beds, sometimes 20 beds a day. You know, when they come and say, oh, there's an extra room, do you want it? Me, I'm there, I'm always there.
Yeah.
I'll take it, you know.
Because extra room, extra money.
Extra room, extra money.
Yeah.
Oh, eh? I'm an entrepreneur now. So I used to make those beds and those rooms, and because I never really used to go out. I'm not a going out person. So I can work hours and hours, you know. But what I have to complain is my back till today. Who can I sue? I don't know. When you're making all those beds, you know, you have to make those hospital corners and that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And so I progressed from there. Because I remember I used to work with this agency, and they were so happy with me because I never used to say no.
Yes.
So, and also after doing the rooms during the day, in the evening, they would give me like the evening shift as well, where you do the turn down.
Yes.
You know, there's turn down, you come, you get the room ready for the guests.
Yeah.
You put chocolates in the corner.
Some water.
Some water.
Coffee and stuff.
And then after that, one of the world leading hotels that I used to work to, by the way, I've worked in more than 30 big hotels in London. So after that, finishing the evening shift, remember I've done the morning, I've done the evening, and then there's a guest maybe from America that has kids. Maybe they want to go out with the wife and they need a babysitter. My dear, by the time I'm done, by the time they come back at 2 or 3 in the morning, they give me my money, I go home. Maybe 2 hours or 3 hours sleep, back to the same grind.
Wow.
And there's a time when, before going to chambermaid, no, actually, I then progressed and I became a housekeeper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now I'm just carrying the clipboard.
Yes, yes.
I'm the one checking. You haven't cleaned that properly.
Move it.
Yeah. And they used to say, she's so bossy. She's so tiny and bossy. Like, she's coming. Yeah. Because you have to make it clean.
Yes.
So then I became a housekeeper. But still, I had a morning job. I was cleaning a gym. I used to go and clean this gym. When I come back, I've got my own. After that, go and work in the hotel, wearing my suit.
Yeah.
Nobody knows I've been cleaning some gym.
Nobody.
You know? And so I just progressed from there. By the time I left the hotel industry, I was a guest relations manager at the Mandarin Oriental, you know, the leading world hotel, the one opposite Harrods.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I greeted people like the Queen, you know, Her Majesty, may her soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Eubank, Jackie Chan. You know, I was now mingling with all these, you know, all these, you know, big names, because this is the hotel, it's a leading world hotel. This is the hotel they used to come to for, you know, and I was a guest relations manager. And I remember it's opposite Harrods. And my friend, my really good friend, she was French. Yeah. She used to smoke, but at that point, I never used to smoke at that point.
Yeah.
And I think I had just stopped, but she was bad influence to me. So I thought, you know, we used to look at Harrods and say, maybe we should go there and buy some cigarettes. You know, just go to Harrods. So just so you've gone to Harrods.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy some cigarette. And we did that. And I started smoking again, like, you know, just so. She was bad influence, but at least we had an excuse to go to Harrods.
Yes.
And we were just like, wow, you know, we've been to Harrods. Meanwhile, you know, all the people that are staying in Mandarin, some of them, you know, Harrods is where they shop. And, you know, they leave all the big Harrod bags or whatever, you know, after they've shopped and they've left.
Yeah.
So I used to take those bags.
Hey.
I used to take those bags and carry them.
Yeah.
And I remember that time I was living with my brother, and one day he looked under the bed. I used to put all the bags. He's like, Pauline, where have you got all these Harrods bags? And you don't even shop in Harrods. You know, the way he said it was like, I was like, don't worry, one day I'll shop in Harrods, proper shopping, not just go and buy, you know, cigarette across the road or get empty bags.
Yes.
Yeah, my brother, he was actually trying to shame me. I think his friend was there.
Yeah.
He was like, he pulled it with all these, empty Harrod bags under the bed. And, I said, one day, I will legitimately shop in Harrods. And yeah.
And you shopping.
Shopping
Manifestation.
Yes,
You shopping there now.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
man.
So from, this is why I always say, do not despise your small steps. From being a chambermaid, being a cleaner, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely enjoyed it. And I would do it again today. Absolutely, because the money that I earned from there helped pay some school fees, not just for me, but some people that I help, and also for me as well, it helped build me. And all those hours that I accumulated cleaning, and it actually taught me resilience.
There you go, patience.
Yes.
I tell people,
yes,
there are lessons you won't learn anywhere else.
Yes.
There are lessons you will learn only in those places you call odd jobs. Even if you don't love the job, take the lessons.
Yes.
Just learn. Because that, especially housekeeping, all those jobs, waiting on tables, they teach you so many things.
Yes, but also because when you've come here and you're bragging to people, back there you say you're in Brito, you're in Britain.
I'm in Britain.
Brito. So, your friends know that you're in Brito. And hey, who wants to tell me to tell them I'm a chambermaid? Are you kidding me? Like, no.
No way.
Yeah, even when I went back, I was telling them, I work in this office. Serious? Not knowing. You know what happened one day when I was, honestly, God works in the most mysterious ways. So one day I'm cleaning this room. And sometimes when you're cleaning that desk, you see the name of the guest, the slip.
Yeah.
Hey, you won't believe who I saw the name.
Who?
And when I saw that name, I just started cleaning quick. You need to get out of this room quick. The late MP Oro Jorde. Oh. This is Tower Hill Hotel. I was like, oh my God, Oro Jorde. Oh my goodness. Okay, first I was nervous because I was thinking, if this guy comes here, finds me cleaning, maybe he'll ask who I am or whatever, and where I come from,
and
whatever.
He'll trace you.
And then obviously he knows my dad.
Yes.
They know, because my dad was in politics as well. And then go and tell my dad that this is what I'm doing, cleaning rooms. Do you know the speed at which I cleaned that room? And the housekeeper tried to bring me back to clean because I forgot to clean. I said, listen, that's not actually my room. That's not my room to clean, actually. Yeah. I think it was for,
Because back home, I work in an office, guys.
Yeah. And apparently, the next day, the housekeeping, they complained that, one guest complained. Oh, Pauline, one guest complained that the room wasn't cleaned properly. I was like, I couldn't explain to them why. I needed to leave that room quick before that Orwao Jordan, that guest, may his soul rest in peace, come back in that and find me there. Me, this girl from Kenya. Yes.
Cleaning.
Cleaning. Hey? Well, after cleaning, I'm bragging to my friends. Hey, we just, today in the office. Listen, because you can't. Back then, you've come to Britain, Brito, as we used to call it, Britain, and Great Britain. And you want to go back, you want to brag to your friends, you want to, hey, it was, no. But then again, it taught me you need to be real. Just be real. Just be you. You don't owe anybody fakeness. You don't owe anybody. Like me here, sitting here like this, I'm real. I'm real with the shoes I'm wearing. Valentino, baby. Yes. I'm real with the gloves. I'm real with this. I'm like, I didn't borrow them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to come and do this interview.
Yeah.
So it taught me back then because, I could have been sacked that day, isn't it? Because this was an MP, somebody high profile. And the room was in a floor that was quite, expensive and high profile.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the job because I was being fake. I didn't want, Yeah, so it taught me like lessons.
Yes. Wow. And now you can confidently tell people, I was a chambermaid.
I was a chambermaid. I was a glorified chambermaid. If they were giving badges and awards, I'm telling you, I would have always won awards for being because I was so dedicated.
Yeah.
When there were extra rooms to clean, they always knew who to ask.
Yeah.
And I went from one hotel to the next, The agency absolutely loved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you left the hospitality industry.
I left hospitality. So I met my husband.
Yeah.
And remember when I was growing up, Mom was a businesswoman, but I would say she was also still a mom, a full-time mom.
Yeah.
She had her businesses, but she was a full-time mom. So I saw the way she brought us up. Even though, okay, you know, a family, we were 11 kids. Of course we had maids, you know.
Yeah.
We had one that was ironing, one that was cleaning our shoes,
Yes.
one that was dropping us, one was cooking. We had them, I'm telling you. Because having 11 kids
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. But Mom was still there. So when I met my husband, I thought, you know what? I'm going to be a mom and I'm going to become a full-time mom. And I remember at that time I was working in the Mandarin, it used to be called Hyde Park Hotel.
Yeah.
And we transitioned it to the Mandarin.
Yeah.
And we did so well. Apparently I was picked to be one of the team that was going to be transferred to San Francisco, so that we could convert one of the hotels as well, you know, to Mandarin. And so happened that I couldn't go because I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
I was pregnant, and for me, that was the end of, right, Pauline, that's it, you're going to be a full-time mom. Because when I met my husband, he was at university, and I was the breadwinner. So when the baby came, I said, you know what, we're turning the tables. You are going to be the breadwinner. I mean, I'm just going to be sitting at home, become a full-time mom. And that for me was the end of working in hospitality. And so while I became a full-time mom, you know, obviously from earning a lot of money to nothing, gosh, the amount of times people tell you, oh, you're just a mom now, you're just a mom. You know, they're reminding you now you're just a mom. You're like, you feel, but I never felt any guilt. The best times of my life were when I stayed home, becoming a full-time mom.
Yeah.
But while becoming a full-time mom, I realized how challenging it was to become a mother, especially a new mom. Yeah. But also I thought, oh my goodness, this baby here has me. What about the babies that don't have anybody? And then my mind went back to Kenya again. And the way we used to see these children who live on the streets, I don't like to call them street children, children that live on the streets, that eat from the bin, and the way we just walk past them like it's none of our business. You know, I used to do that. I used to do that, like, it's none of my business, just eat from that bin. You know what I mean? And I just thought, oh my goodness, but something is not right. Here in the UK, let me tell you, the first year when I came, I was walking around always looking for street children. Hey, where are they? Maybe they're on holiday or something. I'm like, something is not right.
Yeah.
There's no street children. Children that live on the street in the UK. But yet, in my country, it was normal. So then when I had my child, I thought, you know what? I'm going to have one hand for my family, one hand for those kids that do not have, for those kids that live on the street. And so then I thought, how am I going to do this by myself? I can't do it by myself. So then I started the Mr. and Miss East Africa UK. Yeah. So then I started to work with all of the 13 African countries, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, Ethiopia. And then one of the campaign that we did was Feed the Street Children.
Yeah.
And the largest one we did was in Uganda, in Kampala actually, where we fed 1,400 children that lived on the streets. And for me, being a mom just completely changed me. And that's how I got into doing events. And while I was doing the Mr. and Miss East Africa UK, obviously I recognized I was in the UK, I am in the UK. And so at that time, even sponsorship to come by was so hard. So it's like when my husband gives me £20 for vegetables, I pinch it, £10 I keep on the side. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm keeping it to do the event.
Yeah.
And also to help the charities that I was at. So it just came so easy. So then I used to do the events, but I also got a lot of support from Black people, you know, like in the UK. Like if I needed somebody to host the show, I would get like Eddie Caddy, this comedian, who would help. Or DJ Abranti would help me out. DJ Dubwise would help me out. Do all of this, you know, if I needed a choreographer to teach, you know, the help was enormous. And so I did the pageant for close to about 10 years, I think. But I realized that while I was doing the pageant, all of these people that are helping me, how do I say thank you to them? You know, how do I say thank you? But I don't have the money. They always came to support me. I didn't pay them. And then I also realized that at the end of the year, we always sat there to watch the Oscars and watch everybody being honored. But we as Africans or Black people, there was no award ceremony. There was no award ceremony praising us at the end of the year. Of course, there was one, Screen Nation, but then Screen Nation is kind of like mainstream, like only catering for it was catering only for the mainstream actors. But what about the grassroots Africans that are also contributing to the economy through music, through film, through fashion, through arts? And then I decided, you know what, Pauline, you've done the pageant for close to 10 years. You're a pro now at doing events. I said, I'm going to do an award ceremony. But what inspired me to do this award ceremony as well was, I love Michael Jackson. I was like, when I start this award ceremony, the first legend, we're going to honor Michael Jackson. So actually, the award ceremony was supposed to be in 2010. So 2009 was the year when I was supposed to plan for it. But unfortunately, in June 2009, Michael Jackson died. And that just triggered something. I said, you know what? There's no need to wait. Let me just start the award ceremony. And it took me 3 months to start the award ceremony, to kickstart it. And October of that year, 2009, over 1,000 people at the Hilton Metropole. It was amazing. And that's how the BEFFTA came about. And Black people from film, from fashion, from TV, from the arts. An award ceremony that's honoring people behind the camera and in front. You're in this one roof, famous people, but people who are also not famous, beginners and legends and pioneers. So for me, the beauty was I'm bringing all these people together under one roof, and we're celebrating one red carpet. There's no VIP. Go that way. That everybody's a VIP. So beautiful. And the ceremony as well was very expensive to run. But at that time, of course, now I could afford because I was progressing. And I just got fed up of paying too much money to venues. I thought, oh gosh, the venues were so expensive. And especially I was going to central London venues. And I thought, you know what? I said to my husband, why don't we find a place and turn it into a venue? You know, for my next event, let's turn it into a venue. So I remember one place we went to in East London, and the place was derelict. And my husband said, we've driven all the way to this derelict place. What are you going to do with it? Like, I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, the ceiling was falling. I think things were falling. And I remember him saying, no, we can't. You can't do anything here. First of all, it's residential. There's a lot of residentials there. I said, okay. When we went back home, I said, this is what we're going to do. And he said, what are you going to do? I said, we are going to turn that place, that derelict place, into a film studio. And I remember him telling me, you're crazy. You don't know anything about the film industry. How are you gonna, you're crazy. He said that he was in IT, he was in IT as well. It's like, and I said, no, I want it serious. And I gave him a name. Give me the URL, we're going, we're doing. Yeah. And that's how I started to run film studio. And I remember the first client was Reebok, the brand, yeah. And when the producer came to see the place and to recce, and he was using some terminologies. Hey, I was like, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you later. I'll get back to you. I'll email you. Yeah, I'll email you. Hey, meanwhile, I went to Google's my friend.
What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean?
You know when they say fake it till you make it, that
True.
Google was my friend.
Yeah.
And Google became my friend. 15 years on, I've run 4 studios. So this is the 4th one.
Wow. This is the 4th one?
Yes.
Not even, you have 4?
Oh no, so the first one, obviously I gave up because
Yes.
we had problems with the residents around the area. Then I had acquired a second one,
Yes.
and then a third one,
Yeah.
and then now this 4th one, which is much bigger than all of the other ones that we ran.
Yeah.
Yes. But for me, it was getting encouragement, because I remember my husband always said, when I became a full-time mom,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, what can I do with myself? And so when I said I wanted to do the beauty pageant, he said, no, you're crazy. You don't even know anybody. How are you going to do it? I said, this, I'll do it. Remember, he called me crazy. He always said I'm crazy. And then I went to start the award ceremony. He said again, how's it going to work? You're crazy. So I'm used to that. You're crazy. Then I said, oh, film studio. He said, now you are. Why do you always just go to do things that you know nothing about?
Yeah.
And for me, it's about going to the unknown and coming back out with the known. You go somewhere where it's dark. Don't worry, somebody somewhere will turn up and switch the lights on. Somebody somewhere will turn up, switch the lights on.
Yeah.
You cannot be scared of what you don't know. You cannot be scared of the power that you don't even know you have. Babe, keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. It's about discovering that you that nobody has ever known, that even you don't know. Even you don't know that. I didn't know that I could do some of these things that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that one day I could be sitting here in this massive 17,000 square foot film studio. From being a chambermaid, from, vacuuming, like aggressively, like, you know how we do it as chambermaids. From that to, I'm just sitting calm here with you, like, it's about, like having no fear at all, owning you.
Yeah.
But also it's about believing that God actually has put something unique in you that absolutely no bulldozer can bulldoze out of you.
Yes.
Something is inside of you. And that's how, for me, every day is a day to tell myself I haven't achieved anything. I tell myself I'm just a beginner. I'm a rookie.
Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't arrived. I'm a beginner. Every day is a beginner for me. Mm-hmm.
And it's important.
It's important.
Because the moment you think you've arrived, that's it for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. God, I have so much admiration for you right now. You know, I just have so much admiration for you right now.
Yeah.
You know?
So, you know, obviously I've spoken about my entrepreneurship side,
Yes,
but really and truly I'm a philanthropist. That's
now, that's the part I want. And you see what you just did. You just spoke because people, even the people who are watching right now,
Yes.
I was just going through your accolades and I could not get to the end of these.
Yes.
Oh, she's this, she's this, she's this, she's this. You are just surrounded with so many accolades. You are such an amazing philanthropist. Could you, I know maybe that's not something you want to talk about because the thing with humanitarians and philanthropists, they don't like talking about that part.
Yes.
But for the sake of our audience, could you just take us through them? And the accolades and the organizations that you also belong to?
Yeah, so apart from, you know, obviously running the Pauline Long Entrepreneurship Foundation, which is currently have permanent offices in Malawi and Kenya, but we have also partnered with charities in Congo, Zimbabwe, Zambia, you know, where we pay school fees for orphans. But mainly the charity, the Pauline Long Entrepreneurship Foundation, takes care of old women. You know, like those women that we have in the village that have nobody, you know. So like we give them monthly supplies, you know, basic needs, maize, sugar, you know, and a little pocket money as well. So in Kenya, we take care of about 66 women. And I just bought some land as well to build a center for them. Wow. But also the foundation, we encourage the youth, we empower the youth. So again, in Malawi and Kenya, there's a Pauline Long Super Cup football tournament, which takes place every September, which is my birthday month. And so we are planning actually to create a league. So again, we use the football to encourage the youth. And when I say football, it's both female and male. We encourage them to become self-sufficient. We encourage them to become leaders. I remember like the last football we did, the girls, you know, they sent a video and they said, you know, we love what you're doing for us because it's just taking us away from trouble. Otherwise, teenage pregnancies, they'll be out there up to no good. But football is helping them, you know, so that melts my heart. And so in Malawi as well, we pay school fees for close to about 150 orphans. And maybe somebody might be watching and thinking, well, you're Kenyan, why Malawi? Why Congo? Why Zambia? Why Zimbabwe? I think that when you have love for humanity, you don't really see region, you don't see where somebody comes from, you don't see their color, you just see that love that you're extending. Remember when I said when I had my child, I realized I had more than one hand. One hand was going to be for my family, and the other hand was going to be for humanity. And so with the charities, what we really emphasize is the education, just make sure that no child is left behind, you know, pay the school fees. And the elderly as well, close to my heart, and widows. You know, as we speak right now, there's some widows that we just give even just a bag of maize, you know? And for them, sometimes they just say, God bless you. Do you know when somebody says God bless you to you, especially somebody, an old woman, do you know how that blessing, this might be maybe selfish on my end, but them just giving me that blessing, God bless you, my daughter, God bless you, our daughter, is so special. And it just encourages me to do more, to reach more people, but also seeing my grandfather having the open door policy. I grew up knowing that family is not blood, you know, family is everybody, you know, anybody that you can reach out to or can reach out to you. So, yeah, apart from that, so I work with other organizations.
Yes.
You know, I support my charity partners with other charities as well,
Yeah.
because you can't stand alone. We are all in it together,
in it.
you know, to support, you know, humanity. So I support charities that, you know, take care of people with disabilities as well, people that have been discriminated against, especially albinism, you know. So yeah. Philanthropy really is my, but as you say, I don't like to talk about it because like that's where I rest, you know?
Yeah.
That's where I feel like I'm at home.
That's home. That's you. Now the awards, Doc.
Yes.
You've received so many awards. Just
nearly 350. I know, nearly 350.
Yeah.
Even today, as I was looking at my email, there's another Lifetime Achievement Award. Now I think I've got like 18 of them are Lifetime Achievement. And I recently received one from the President of the US, Joe Biden, the Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm like, it makes me feel old and look old, but you know,
you ain't old.
Still rocking it, but you know, I'm grateful. It just, the awards encourage you to kind of do more. My first award was given to me by a Kenyan, the UK Kenyan Achievers Awards. And I was actually so surprised.
Yeah.
They gave me the most innovative Kenyan in the UK because of what I was doing with the beauty pageants in 13 countries.
Yeah.
And that award changed everything for me. Because I was about to give up doing the pageant. I was like, no sponsorship coming through. People are not even appreciating, you know? Like, you know, sometimes you can do events, you know, as Africans, we can do events and people just come to criticize your event. Like, I'm like, where is this support? So after a few years, I was like, oh, I'm done. But when I was just about to say, I'm done, this award comes. And I remember some MPs were there and I was so proud, I was so grateful, and I said I will forever be grateful because this award opened so many doors for me. This award encouraged me as well to start the BEFFTAs because
what does BEFFTA mean for the sake of the people that are watching?
So BEFFTA is Black Entertainment, Film, Fashion and TV Awards. Yeah. So with, you know, that award that I was given, the Kenya UK Achievers Awards, it made me realize that don't give up. Somebody's looking at you. Somebody's praising you.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with BEFFTA as well. A lot of people were like, whoa, I've just been honored. I was just about to give up.
Yeah.
But somebody just come and praised me.
Good job, Doc.
Yeah.
Good job. Now, just asking from a naive point of view, Doc, people think automatically, I was just asking Joshua, so is she a doctor or the name Doc?
Yes.
If you could just take us through it so I don't misquote you and ask a stupid question.
So it's an honorary doctorate.
Yes.
So I actually have one honorary doctorate for leadership.
Yeah.
And then another honorary doctorate for humanitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's from the American University. Yes.
Doc.
And now obviously they've given me a professor title as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously I teach leadership skills and everything. Yeah. And hey, one day I will become president of Kenya. Done deal.
And it was said on this show. May they quote this show.
It's coming. Yes.
You want to be president?
I want to be the president of Kenya. I want to be, yes. I want to be that servant leader. Total servant leader. Service. Total serve the people. Like they just, you know how I was a chambermaid?
Yes.
Like a servant to them?
Yeah.
I want to be.
All the best.
Want to be.
More grace to you. All the best. Yes. You are deserving of that. You know those conversations you just have and you feel like you just had a conversation with your big sister.
Yes.
And it feels so nice.
Yes.
That I don't want to wind up.
Yes.
I'm just so tempted to keep going, ask you just questions so that we can, keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
But I've had fun.
Yeah.
Again, you're such a vibe. But as always, we have to wind up. But before I do, is there anything you think we should have touched on that we did not touch on?
I just want to encourage the youth.
Yes.
We keep telling them, you are future leaders. I just want to tell them that that phrase really needs to change and they should not accept it. They are the present.
Wow.
And they need to take position wherever they are right now in their life. Step forward, take position, be that leader.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the future, because when the future comes, as adults, we tend to be very selfish.
Yes.
We don't pass on the baton. So please, the youth, I just want to encourage them to just step forward.
And be the present
and
leaders.
be the present leaders. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's beautiful. I want you to send a special message as you tell people also where they can find you, because some would want to get in touch. If you have a website, you can let them go check it out. But phrases such as dark, ugly, stupid, all these things, names are not, strange to majority of the people that are going to watch this episode. And if you could look at that camera and just talk to them, like just whatever you want to say, just feel free.
So for anyone that's going through any sort of discrimination, I mean, mine was the skin color, my skin pigment that happened to be dark and upset certain people. I just want to encourage you to accept yourself, number one, accept who you are, and also just be grateful for the space that you're occupying right now. Somebody in hospital is crying for that breath that you have. Somebody in hospital right now is probably going through the last of their life, but you're out there living it. So I just want you to go out there, live your best life while doing the most important thing, which is accepting you as you are. If you want to be out there putting double layers of foundation, that's how you want to accept yourself, do. If you want to be there, this might sound very odd. If the reason why you're putting the bleaching cream is to accept yourself, but not for other people, that's what you want to do, whatever you're doing, just do it for yourself. But don't you ever change your skin pigmentation, your skin color, just so other people, you can walk into a room and feel like you're loved. Find yourself, love yourself first, be free with yourself, be free with who you are. It is the sweetest thing ever. I don't even know how to explain it. Babe, I feel so good. I feel so good with no makeup whatsoever. I feel so good, and nobody, absolutely nobody can come and tell me otherwise. Nobody. They're too late. Don't let anybody put a label on you, because labels belong to clothes. They don't belong on you. Wow. Love yourself, accept yourself, because you are it. You are it, babe.
You're the it, girl.
You're it.
You it.
Yeah, you're it.
Yeah.
Like you walk into a room, but if you see me walk into a room now, like I'm it. Like just better own yourself as well. Own yourself as well, because I've owned myself.
Yeah. No apologies.
Oh yeah. No apologies. The confidence I have. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, Pauline, come down, tone it down a bit. Like, no,
but tone it down for who?
Tone it down for who?
For what?
I've arrived.
I've arrived. Yeah. You are incredible.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure getting to meet you. Thank you for accepting to grant us an interview. Thank you for just being such a vibe, for being an incredible woman. I will play this interview for myself over and over and over and over again. I will just be waking up every other time I need motivation. This is where I'll be getting my motivation from. You are such a vibe, man, and I hope we just become friends, because I want to
we're sisters now.
We're sisters. Where can these people find you? You have a website?
Yes, so www.paulinelong.com. You can find me on Instagram. I'm very rubbish at Instagram, but I'm trying. I'm just new there. So I'm new there. So yeah, Dr. Pauline Long official on Instagram. So interact with me there actually, so that I can be there more.
You can be there more.
On Facebook as well, I'm there. Yes. But can I just say that you are so adorable. Like your energy, like your aura, like you're just like, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You're amazing.
I'm a blush because I'm hearing this now from a legendary, a legend, but thank you. Guys, I honestly feel like I did like this episode for you, but most importantly, I'm going to be selfish. I also feel like I did this for myself. I feel like this is something I just wanted to hear. This is someone I just needed to sit with, and you've inspired me. I go back home with so much inspiration. I just go back home knowing, man, look at her, and I hope all of you can be inspired by her journey. This is what Inspire Global looks like. And guys, please just don't be scared of your hustle. Don't be ashamed. I always say there's no shame in hard work. So just put in the work. No matter what work you're doing, just put in the work and take the lessons home. It's been amazing being here. Sijapata accent, so mtanisamehea. I will come back next year. But above all, thank you so much for sitting and watching this episode. Let me know what you think on the comment section. What's your take home? What have you learned? What questions do you have for Doc? And maybe I could get her to answer some on the comment section through her YouTube channel. But most importantly, I hope you have really been inspired, because I have. I want to say thank you to my team. Of course, I don't get to do this alone. Legendary camera person and director Edwin Ochieng for filming this episode. Our incredible host of Men's Desk and producer Joshua J. Karanja for making sure we have this incredible set. And God, I feel like I just hosted in one of the most beautiful sets today. Not forgetting our in-house floor manager today, Larissa, driving us here. Don't worry guys, maybe you'll get to see her, because she also has an amazing story, driving us all the way here and making sure we were here on time. We appreciate you. And of course to you, my people, for being such active participants of our platform. My name is Lynn. You want to get hold of Doc, her website also is right here on the screen. Her social handles are on the screen, and I'll also be pinning her website a link on the comment section. My email is also right here on the screen. Share your story. Hata kama utakuwa Timbuktu, we are coming, no matter where you are. I believe we just started, and we could be telling your story on the next episode of Inspire Global. And of course, to thank our incredible partners who have made this episode happen. TapTap. So if you're in diaspora, you want to send, do you use TapTap, Doc?
No, but that's interesting. I'll get to
use it.
You
get it? Yeah, it's like an app. You get to send money back home. So if try it, give me your honest feedback so I can pass it over. Amazing. So if you're in diaspora and you want to send money back home, guys, TapTap, all right? Just use this app. And not forgetting our incredible host, Lydia Tet Olette. Thank you, Mom, for being such an incredible host and making sure our time in the UK was awesome. Till next time, bye-bye.
So trust the process. One day your life is gonna change. Keep on believing. You will be better than before.